Hey guys, this is Typhoon from AICodeJournal.com, and this is going to be a quick video showing you how you can upload a document to ChatGPT using the OpenAI API. Basically, you're not really talking with ChatGPT here, but you're talking with the API in a specific model of your choosing. Now, the details and step-by-step instructions are also in the format of an article. So if you do prefer it, just click on the link below the video and check it. And we're also going to go through the steps here. The article will have a little bit more details. We're going to directly begin with the steps. This is for people who are unfamiliar with Python and working with scripts. So you can basically go to the article, follow the steps here, step by step, install Python and PyCharm. I'm giving you links here and so on and so forth. Make sure you go through them. If you're new and you don't really know what you're doing, make sure you go through the steps step by step, and then you'll be able to just basically copy and paste some of the stuff and start working with the code. So basically, in the video, we're going to assume that you have Python, you have PyCharm, and what you would need to do is just create a PyCharm project. I show you how to do it. Once you open PyCharm, you will be able to just click on create project, give it a name, and you are ready to roll. And then the next thing that you're going to do is just copy and paste the code from my article. So you just take all of this, you just copy it, and you are going to come to a place that looks just like this. You will have your project. You click on main.py, and then you just copy and paste this. So very simple to do. Now, in your specific case, what you will have is something like this. You will, on the top of the page, you'll see that you have an underlined OpenAI. This means you don't have this package. This is something that OpenAI provides us to easily work with their system, and PyCharm allows you to very easily install it. So you just hover over it and you click on install package. It's going to take a couple of seconds or a minute or two, and then you can just proceed, basically. So what you would need to do on your end is you have a line here, line 4, OpenAI.ap_key. So this is very important. It's going to be your API key. And here, between the quotes, you will paste your API key. The API key itself, you can get it from this link. It's again in the article. And you just copy and paste the API key. You click on create new secret key, and then you get the API key. And then you just copy and paste it here. Simple. And once you have it, the only thing left for you, and in the article itself, I call it filename.txt. So basically what you would need to do is, if you want to interact with certain content that you have, it needs to be in txt format. So you click on the folder, new file, you call it filename.txt. That's what the name of the file should be if you don't want to do any sort of other modifications. If you are feeling comfortable or just want to call it whatever the file name of the txt file is, you can just come here. On your end, you'll see this. You will have basically the same thing. Maybe the colors are different. That's a theme thing, doesn't really matter. But you go to line 24 and you just change it. My file name, whatever the name of the file is. Important, it should be in txt format. Why? Because it's easier to work with it, and you don't have to have like lots of code, lots of libraries to convert it. If you want to work with different formats and convert them txt, Python allows you to do that, but you need to research it. This is just a simple video to show you and get you going. Now, and that's pretty much it, right? Once you have the txt file and once you have your key, you can just run the script. The way to run the script, again, there are many ways, but the simplest here for a newbie is basically right-click this file inside of it, and then you click on Run Main. Now, in my case, there's going to be a problem. I can type the question, but it's not going to work because my API key is not in this file. However, I do have a file that has the API key, and where you can just rerun it here. I've run it once, and in my case, you can see the txt file is called melons.txt. You can see it here, and it's fine, right? It's not a big deal. And then I ask it to summarize the text. That's it. Now, what you need to, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get the answer from the API. And what I would suggest to note down here, depending on your use case. And there we go. We do have the answer here. So basically, in your case, just copy and paste, follow the instructions on the article or in the video. I briefly go over them, and then just you can just run the script. Now, again, this only allows you to ask one question, but it can be modified easily to just iterate, create a while loop there, and just ask it multiple questions. It's easy to do. You can even ask ChatGPT, just give them the script and ask them to modify it per your needs. Now, if there's enough interest, I can create the script as well and just paste it in the article, give you a link, do a new video, and so on and so forth. But this is just to give you an idea how to work with the API. It's extremely simple. If you understand Python code, you'll also know that it is extremely simple, but Python code is written in such a way so you can actually kind of understand what's going on here. So what you may be interested in is this part here. So you go to ask_question. This is a function that actually asks the question to GPT and gets the response. And what you may want to modify here is the GPT model. I've set the default here, and it has about a context of 4,000. The reason why you may want to use this approach rather than speaking with the ChatGPT online through the web browser is basically you can actually modify a lot of stuff, but the main part in my case would be just the context. From what I've found is that the context is about 4K in the web version of ChatGPT, which means it's about 3,000 words. It can't remember that, and then it gets hazy, may hallucinate, and so on and so forth. So, not very helpful if you have a bigger file. And you may want to change it to GPT-4. You may want to change it to some specific model. I think I have it open here. Let me just see. Yeah, in the pricing page, you can kind of see what sort of, so you can see here, GPT-4 has 8K context up to 32K. So this is about 24,000 words or something like that. Pretty big document. And then GPT Turbo has different models. The default is 4K, but you can have 16K as well. The main difference here is, of course, the model's abilities, but again, the pricing as well. The pricing is different per tokens. Um, so that's pretty much it, all right? Something that I would like to note down here is, let me just get here. So what we're doing here is basically, first we're giving the system some prompt, which tells it what's the situation here. So we're telling it, hey, you're a helpful assistant. This first prompt will be a long text, and any message that you get will be regarding that. Please answer any questions and requests having in mind the first prompt, basically the file that we give. And here the prompt itself is going to be the file itself. And then we have a question. And then we're going to get the answer and we're just going to print it. That's pretty much it. Very simple. You can work with a specific file or work with basically different files. It can be modified in very different and creative ways. That is up to you. Again, if you do have, you can modify this to your liking. If you want to give it a different, like, different prompt, different idea of who it is and what's going on in the conversation, you can do it here. That's what I would suggest. Just change it inside the quotes, and then the question itself, it's free form. It is asked while you are speaking with it. And you can see again, we ask for a summary, and then we do have the summary of the text here. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask them in the article or my video. If you do have requests, as long as there's enough people who want it, I can actually rewrite the script to be helpful to more people and their specific use case.